Have you ever found yourself standing at the crossroads of doubt and faith, feeling the weight of your struggles pressing down on you? Have you ever questioned your purpose, wondering if there's a greater reason behind your challenges? In moments of uncertainty, it's easy to feel like we're lost in the darkness, searching for a glimmer of hope. This hymn was written by George Duffield, Jr., and its stirring message has resonated with believers for over 100 years. The music, composed by George J. Webb, brings the words to life, creating an anthem of hope, strength, and perseverance. But what if the strength we need isn't something we find on our own, but something that's been available to us all along, a divine source of courage and hope? Today, I want to share with you a hymn that has lifted countless spirits across generations. Stand Up for Jesus. Written during the 19th century, it calls the faithful to rise in courage and stand firm in their faith, especially during times of trial. This hymn reminds us that the battle we face is not ours alone. It is part of a greater victory already won by Jesus Christ. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. It felt like every step forward was met with a setback. During that time, this hymn became my anchor. Whenever I sang, stand up for Jesus, I felt a renewed strength, as if I were lifting the banner of Christ higher with each note. So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. This verse reminds us that we are living in a glorious day, the day of salvation and the day of God's kingdom. And our role is to actively engage in His work, advancing His kingdom wherever we go. The arm of flesh refers to human efforts, which are frail and insufficient in the face of spiritual battles. It reminded me that I wasn't alone in my struggles, that Christ had already fought the hardest battles on my behalf. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-reliance, especially in a world that encourages independence and self-sufficiency. And hope. Stand up for Jesus. The strife will not be long. This day the noise of battle, the next the victor's song. To him who overcometh, a crown of life shall be. They with the King of glory shall reign eternally. I relied on my strength, thinking that I could manage it all. But I quickly realized that my strength was limited. It was only when I surrendered and leaned fully on God's strength that I found peace and courage. It invites us to stand firm in our faith, to trust in God's strength, and to find hope in the future that He has secured for us. Whether you're facing challenges or simply seeking encouragement, remember that the strength you need is not your own, but comes from God alone. If this message has resonated with you, I invite you to like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected for more spiritual insights. Your engagement helps this channel grow and reach others who need encouragement. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. The hymn reminds us that our ultimate victory is secure in Christ, and the eternal joy awaiting us will far surpass the struggles of this life. It acknowledges that the struggles we face are temporary. The noise of battle will eventually give way to the victor's song. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll uncover the timeless truths found in another beloved hymn. Keep standing strong, and may God's strength guide you always. This is a promise for all believers. Our suffering is not forever. Christ has already won the victory, and those who remain faithful will share in His triumph. That's when I truly understood the power of standing in His strength alone. But this verse calls us to place our trust solely in God, for He is the one who equips us to stand firm, even in the face of adversity. Here, we are reminded that our strength is not our own, but comes from God. Put on the gospel armor, each piece put on with prayer, where duty calls or danger, be never wanting there. How can you find hope in knowing that this battle is not eternal? We are called to stand firm in our faith, knowing that Christ has already claimed the ultimate victory. Whether you're facing personal struggles or witnessing injustices in the world, stand up for Jesus is a battle cry, urging us to find courage in Christ and remain faithful to our calling. Let us begin by reflecting on the words of the first verse. Stand up for Jesus, forth to the mighty conflict, in this His glorious day. The trumpet here symbolizes God's call to battle, a call that demands obedience and readiness. Just as soldiers in ancient times would rally to the sound of a trumpet, we too are called to respond to God's call with unwavering obedience. Ye that are brave now serve him, against unnumbered foes. Let courage rise with danger, and strength to strength oppose. Ye soldiers of the cross, lift high his royal banner, it must not suffer loss. Stand up isn't just a passive suggestion, it's a rallying cry to rise and take our place in God's army. As believers, we are soldiers of the cross, representing the strength and authority of Christ. The royal banner refers to the banner of Christ's victory over sin and death, a banner that should never be lowered, no matter how fierce the battle may seem. From victory unto victory, his army shall he lead, till every foe is vanquished, and Christ is Lord indeed. In this opening verse, the hymn immediately calls us to action. This verse echoes the words of the Apostle Paul in Ephesians 6:10-11. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. I remember a time in my life when I was facing overwhelming challenges. Now, let us continue by focusing on the second verse, which calls us to obey and serve. Stand up for Jesus. The trumpet call obey. This verse continues the theme of action, calling us to obey the trumpet call. In Romans 13 verse 12, Paul urges, the night is nearly over. The day is almost here. As you reflect on these words, consider, when was a time in your life when you felt God's call to step out in faith, even when it was difficult or uncertain? Next, let us consider the third verse, where we are reminded of standing in God's strength. Stand up for Jesus, stand in his strength alone. The arm of flesh will fail you. Ye dare not trust your own. This verse is a powerful reminder of where our true strength lies, not in our abilities or resources, but in the strength of God. In Psalm 20 verse 7, we are reminded, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. There was a season in my life when I tried to carry all my burdens by myself. Let us now reflect on the final verse, which brings us a message of victory. This final verse brings a message of hope and victory. Revelation 21 verse 4 offers this comforting promise. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. As you reflect on this verse, ask yourself, how can the promise of victory in Christ change the way you approach your current struggles? Stand up for Jesus is more than just a hymn. It's a call to action, a reminder of the strength we have in Christ, and a promise of ultimate victory. As you reflect on the words of this hymn, I encourage you to take a moment to pause and consider how God is calling you to stand in your own life. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into Stand Up for Jesus. In upcoming videos, we will explore more powerful hymns and delve deeper into the spiritual messages they hold. Be inspired and blessed by this song, knowing that in Christ, victory is assured.
Stand up for Jesus, his soldiers of thy cross. Lift high his royal banner, it must not suffer loss. From victory unto victory, his army shall he lead, till every foe is vanquished, and Christ is Lord indeed. Stand up for Jesus, thy trumpet call obey. Forth to the mighty conflict in this his glorious day. Yahuwah men now serve him against unnumbered foes. Let courage rise with danger, and strength to strength oppose. Stand up for Jesus, stand in his strength alone. Thy arm of flesh will fail you, He did not trust your own. Put on the gospel armor, each piece put on with prayer. Where duty calls or danger, we never want him there. Stand up for Jesus. The strife will not be long. This day the noise of battle, thy nest, thy victor's song. To him who overcometh, a crown of life shall